Hello, hello. Can anyone see and hear me now? I'm back. Okay, wonderful. I'm so sorry. We started a little bit late. I was actually here and I was talking. I promise you. I didn't abandon you. Okay, so we'll start over. And it's actually good because we've got a different kind of view now inside the room. So what we're talking about today inside this networking room is about how to make pitches inside social groups and communities, and how to basically promote your virtual assistant business when you're doing it in that kind of community setting. And I built this networking room for a really very specific reason. But before I go into that reason and how this networking room is going to work, I'm going to explain to you a couple of problems that have occurred that I've particularly noticed, which many virtual assistants are doing, which is really not going to be very fruitful for you guys in the long term. So what does this mean, and what am I talking about? Okay, so we have, for example, I'm going to do this as an example. We have a group on Facebook. If you haven't joined it, you should go join it. It's called the Virtual Assistant Network. Okay, this is what it looks like. And we have 8,500 people inside that virtual assistant network. Now, a few months ago, it was 4,000. And if you want to learn how that group has grown so much, you can come and join us in the VIP room. If you're a member of Virtual Co-working Space, you can come and join us in the VIP room, which is basically the place where we're going to do this special talk about how this group has grown by over 4,000 members in just a few months. We're talking in the space of 3 months. And it's all organic, it's not paid. So setting that aside, go and join our group. Now, the one I want to talk to you about is networking and virtual assistants. So if you're in the virtual assistant group, you will go in there and you will see that there is a lot of pitching from virtual assistants to other virtual assistants for their services. Funnily enough, there's one thing that's coming up quite a lot, which is when virtual assistants go in and say, hi, my name is whatever, I'm a virtual assistant, I wanted to introduce myself and post a photo of me. That's been rife in there. And that is not the best approach to pitching your services or introducing you, especially when you'll see a thread and string of many other people saying the exact same identical thing. It looks like some kind of automation and things like that. So my first thing is, don't do that. Don't do those exact same words. If you're going to introduce yourself or pitch yourself, provide something of value. I don't mind people doing it at all, but it's really important that that does not occur in some kind of like very robotic way. Now, the second thing is, I've noticed that virtual assistants will go into the group to pitch their services, and they will explain and tell people about what a virtual assistant is and how a virtual assistant can save them time and money and how a virtual assistant can support them. And that's kind of like going into a room full of plumbers as a plumber and then saying, I can help you with your plumbing. Now, if you're a plumber, you probably wouldn't need to hire a plumber. But if you did hire a plumber, you would wonder what that plumber could bring to the table. So what I'm saying is if you're going to pitch online and you're going to pitch in a social community or networking situation, you absolutely have to know your audience and create the right pitch for that audience. Instead of creating one pitch and then posting that exact same pitch in multiple different groups, okay? So the next thing, or the next tip that I want to share with you, is always create your pitch, which is very specific to the group or the audience who you are working with, okay? So instead of coming and saying to virtual assistants, did you know you can hire a virtual assistant and save lots of time? everyone's already pitching that to other people, you would come in and say, did you know that you can start a team, get support, get some help with your clients? Did you know I could take the burden off, like helping and supporting you with your clients? Something like that. Something that indicates you actually know who you're talking to. Okay, so this is the second tip and the second point when you are pitching services inside communities or social group settings. You have to bring something to the table that's going to resonate with the person that you're bringing something to the table to. Not offering plumbing services to a plumber. It just doesn't work. So the reason why I created this networking room is really because Marie says, I didn't get why to pitch in a VA's networking group. Are there any potential clients there as well? For sure. We do get people posting to hire virtual assistants. Sometimes we get spam people posting to hire virtual assistants, but we do also get genuine posts. And to be honest with you, I also get asked a lot about, do I know somebody that somebody could potentially hire? Because obviously people are aware that I've got quite a lot of VA groups and a lot of VA following. So people will come to me and say, can you recommend a virtual assistant? This is another reason why I'm coming in here now, creating this room. So the premise and the idea behind this networking room is to try and move you guys away from kind of clutching at straws in social groups. Social groups are not best for pitching. Social groups are best for contributing and adding value, okay? So whilst you can tell someone about your services in a social group setting or a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group, you have to tell them in such a way that it contributes to the group. And a pitch or a business pitch generally does not contribute to the lives of others, okay? There's a time and a place for it. We're going to talk about that in a second. But basically, if you're going to go into groups, look for people asking questions, be helpful, answer, say, I provide a service that can help you with that. Say something like, I have a free ebook that answers this question, or I have a training course that provides a solution to this problem. This is what social groups are for. And when you find a lot of pitches in social groups, it tends to lower the quality of the group. Now, I'm all for people presenting themselves and telling people about their services, but you have to do it in such a way that it's effective. Otherwise, don't do it at all. If you're posting an ineffective post, you're wasting your time and you're wasting other people's time. And this is the biggest problem right now in social groups, networking groups, and social settings. So what I've done is created this fine networking room right here. Now this networking room, and do you know what, I'm going to go into the circle cam now, just so you can kind of see the networking room and we can kind of take a look at it from this angle. So can everyone still see and hear me, by the way? I'm super paranoid now about this camera thing. Give me a yes if you can still see and hear me. Okay, great. Okay, cool. Okay, so if we go into this setting, you'll see here I have a screen and I have a place to ask a question and I have a place for a presenter or a host to come in. Now, what we intend to do with this room and what I intend to do with this room is really hone in on how I'm going to recommend virtual assistants to other people. And this idea came to me based on having my inbox really flooded with people saying, hello, mom, or sir. I sometimes get sir. Don't know why I look like a sir or not. But hello, sir, or hello, mom. Did you know you can hire a virtual assistant and I can do this, this, and this for you? And it's only this many dollars per hour, okay? Believe me, you could sell me the cheapest of cheap and I would not hire anyone that way. And whenever I talk to any potential clients, they come to me because it's like when they post on these groups and say, I'm looking to hire a virtual assistant, they are flooded with absolute real kind of rubbish like that, that you can't see the wood for the trees in. Nothing is unique, nothing is stand out, and nothing would make you want to really explore that, because it's so generic and people aren't even using a first name sometimes, or even indicating that they've looked at anything. Now, if you were in the earlier session in the Success Hub, there is a video in there about how to pitch your services, and we touched on this topic in there about what to do in these situations. But there is also a way I think we can do this much better, and it goes on the concept of a little bit like speed dating or something like that, but in the nicest possible way. I'm not hooking people up inside the networking room, but hopefully we'll be able to hook a few people up with some clients. So basically, once a month, I will do an open day for the networking room. So if you are a member of the virtual co-working space, you are considered one of the virtual assistants inside this space, and you will have the opportunity to pitch your business. We will then have an open day once a month where we post out, where we run ads potentially to bring potential customers and clients in to watch you pitch your services. You do not have to do this live. We will create something called a co-spark. Now, you may have seen co-spark sort of bandied around the festival before we launched it. And it's basically a few-minute video. Now, if you go into the festival area, when we're inside the virtual co-working space area, and Monday through to Thursday, we're going to be inside the festival area. And you will see in there's a couple of co-sparks that a couple of VAs have done from the virtual co-working space, where they've done two different kind of approaches or styles of pitching that, to me, add much more value, much more personality, much more interest, and will spark a lot more interest than the very standard generic kind of stuff that people are posting out right now on social groups. So what we want to do is we want to really pull together a social community of people where you can actually visibly go and watch and see and look at recommended virtual assistants, or virtual assistants who have actually taken the time, and we're talking not long, 1 or 2 minutes, taken the time to do a 1 or 2 minute video, which will be displayed in this black area of the screen here. So in the centerpiece here, we will have videos of different virtual assistants talking for 1 or 2 minutes about their service, right? And every single month, we will invite new people who are looking to really do a quality hire. And now when I talk about a quality hire, I mean a really lovely process where someone can come in, watch a few pitches and virtual assistants, think about the type of virtual assistant that they're drawn to, that they like, that has what they want, and then be able to, in a systematic way or a seamless way, reach out to that virtual assistant and contact them and potentially set up a consultation. This is what we're going to be doing inside the networking room. So every month we will have this open day where if anybody is looking to hire a virtual assistant, and believe me, I get asked a lot, and now my go-to is that I'm going to invite people to this day once a month where I will say to them, we have virtual assistants in our virtual co-working space who are actively looking for clients or actively have a space available inside their virtual assistant practice, and you can come on this day once a month and you can come and check them out, and then you could potentially in the chat room talk to them there, or potentially talk to them within the networking room space. Now, this is a very good idea because I think it ticks a lot of boxes in terms of being able to secure clients much quicker, because you've got that real-time interaction where it's kind of like there's a chat room, you can put the camera on, the mic on, if we're presenting, and I happen to say, like if there's somebody here that is looking for a virtual assistant who specializes in social media, do we have a virtual assistant here that does that? And it's in this very closed, safe space, which is a quality space, okay? Now, when you're inside, I don't know whether you've been inside some of the really bigger groups like women entrepreneurs and things like that. You've got these 100,000 members, but even in our group, 8,500 members, you can literally just get lost in this complete sea of people. And I've seen sometimes when somebody pitches in one of the bigger groups, I'm looking for a virtual assistant to design a website for me. There's literally hundreds of comments. Now, I don't think people are really anticipating when they make a post like that they're going to get so many responses. And then they have to actually sift through all of those responses. Now, obviously, some are going to stick out more than others. If someone says PM me, or I've inboxed you or something like that, there's a possible chance. I don't think anyone's going to PM someone else. It's kind of like you want to be pursued if you're asking. And then if you say I've sent a message to your inbox, then there's a potential that you might get a reply. But you've got to be really hot about how you're pitching yourself, even in that inbox, because you can see there's hundreds of people going for this. So what we wanted to do is create a real quality space for real quality clients, and really, actually, for me, it's like a luxury space, because the really high quality hirers and the really high quality clients are going to be the ones that want a more exclusive VIP style kind of way of hiring virtual assistants. Okay, so the really super high quality clients are generally not the ones hiring off the Facebook groups, and they tend to be the ones that are either doing direct outreach to virtual assistants, individuals, or coming to people like me, asking me, do you have a recommendation for someone? So this is what this room is all about. Once a month, we're opening it up. We're going to invite people to come in to hire. Now, what the members of the virtual co-working space are going to do, and what we invite them to do, is sure, you can come into this room and then you can specify, if you're here, obviously, whether you're hiring or you want to be hired, and that's absolutely fine. You could even obviously, we want our virtual assistants to make a video. So we want people to make a video. We want to display the video on here, and then on the day, because we're going to have so many videos and so many virtual assistants, each video will be a couple of minutes long. We'll play the video. I will contribute anything I know about that person. For example, there's many people in here I could talk about right now. Nikki, I could talk about you. Cheryl, for sure, I could talk about you. I have experience with you. Anna, I have experience with you. Martha, of course. So all of you, I can say I've interacted with. I would really recommend this person. I think it's good. I think it would be good for this role. So it's really it's providing that luxury hiring experience that high-end clients will seek out, and we are pitching it as that, as the once-a-month open day for high-quality entrepreneurs and business owners to hire high-quality virtual assistants in a safe environment setting, in a community setting, which cuts out all of the noise of the groups and the social media and that traditional way of having to sift through hundreds of people, and it really brings together people for specific purposes or reasons. Now, we are also, when we take these co-spark videos, we're also going to be publishing them on places like YouTube with your permission. So obviously we have our YouTube channel. There's a few thousand followers right now. That is growing very, very fast now, every single month. And what we're going to be doing is putting the co-sparks there, and then if it's outside our open day, or our open day is coming up later on, then what we're going to be doing is directing people to the YouTube channel to say these are some of the virtual assistants inside our virtual co-working space, and you can obviously pitch your service on there, put your website, put your business, and we can essentially direct people that way and say in the end, if you'd like to come and join our open day and talk to these virtual assistants or interact with them for a little bit just in an informal setting, then you absolutely can. We can also have people do live pitches and live presentation on camera as well. If somebody wanted to jump into the room, they didn't have a CoSpark pre-recorded presentation, but they simply wanted to say hi, introduce themselves, explain what they do, and kind of take center stage in this area, in this black area. So that's what we're doing, and that's what this space and this room is all about. And I'm quite excited about it because it really is much needed. This kind of approach to really coming together in terms of having quality clients and quality VAs, which cuts the noise out, is really, really much needed. And you just have to simply go into Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups to see how much that's needed, because it's just rife in there with very generic business pitches, and almost to a point of desperation where as a hirer you probably wouldn't want to hire, or you would have a very you would maybe make assumptions about that virtual assistant based on the fact that they've just, I mean, I call it kind of like vomiting out something that they look like they've gone and copied and pasted into every other Facebook group the exact same thing. So this is what this area is for, and I'm curious to see what you guys think of this idea, and whether you think it'll work. I mean, I'm severely optimistic for it. If I was thinking about, like, if I was going to hire a virtual assistant and I knew exactly what I wanted, I would love to come into a room like this and go on camera and say, this is what I'm looking for. I need this and this and this, and I want someone to do this, and I'm really not sure. Like, is anybody here got some ideas for me? And this is also, it's going to be like a think tank, a networking, collaboration kind of think tank as well, but between people who are wanting to hire virtual assistants and people hiring virtual assistants. And it gives you an opportunity to remove yourself out of the crowd, not get lost in it, and to actually, you know, kind of put yourself forward in a more human sense. And imagine if you've got, you know, somebody in here who is sitting there and saying, I need someone to run my social media, I've had a really bad experience with another VA. This happens all the time, you know, when they say, like, it's been a bad experience and I'm not comfortable, and then they can say, you know, does anybody have any solution for this or something like that? You know, it's just totally relatable. And to have other virtual assistants in here that can jump in, talk, maybe offer some advice, it's great. And the reason why this is an interesting collaboration is because a lot of it is done amongst virtual assistants or amongst entrepreneurs, but this is very much really fixated and centered around bringing people together and helping people with the hiring process and the being hired process. Martha, thank you. She said, I absolutely think this is amazing. I really don't like being asked for a CV. It's just not needed, no. And it's funny because I see a lot of VAs as well, like saying, can anyone redo my CV or something like that, sometimes in groups. And I think, why are you doing a CV? Filling out a 10-page application form and submitting a video is not for me. Yeah, I think having a room with a video pitch that potential clients can hire from is excellent. Yeah, absolutely. It is pointless. So this is what, yeah, this is exactly, Martha totally gets it. This is like so needed. And yes, there are a lot of people hiring who will ask for a CV, or who will ask for, you know, proof of work and things like that. And I certainly think there's people out there, you know, that still can go down the traditional route of hiring. I'm not saying that if you pitch on a Facebook group you won't ever find a client, And like I say, it really depends on how you go about pitching on that Facebook group, and whether it's contributing to answer a question or give a suggestion or provide someone with some kind of means of gaining value, as opposed to just blurting out like, hire me, hire me. Like, who are you? So yeah, it's kind of interesting. But the reason I've done this is like it's got so much worse, particularly over the last year or 2 years, particularly I would say post COVID, when everyone was turning to social media as an exclusive way to get clients, and I think it just got saturated and a little bit desperate, and we need to change the trajectory of that, and we need to start offering potential clients a better quality experience with us, and we will absolutely get the right type of clients in that environment. We will get the quality clients because we're pitching a quality service as a quality VA. That's me personally. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? Let me see where we're at on time. Oh, I've gone over. Okay, so if anyone has any questions about this, we can obviously have our collaboration, our networking events inside virtual co-working space, and we can also, you can also like contact me and see me in the festival, and also in the next session as well if you would like to. So we are about to get ready to start our next session. We're going into the wellness spa. I'm really excited about this one. And I'm bringing in my friend Heather to help me with this session next. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to see you in 10 minutes inside the wellness spa, where we're going to be talking about self-care and taking care of yourself as a virtual assistant, which is so very important, because usually we're the last people who kind of care about ourselves. We care about everyone else, and we're just trying to sort everyone else out, and then we kind of get left behind. So thank you so much for being here, guys, and I shall see you in 10 minutes in the wellness spa room. Take care.